Have you ever found yourself replaying a past mistake over and over in your head? Wishing you could turn back time and do things differently? We've all been there. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking a more powerful, disciplined life lies in letting go of that very habit? Today, we're diving deep into the mind of one of history's greatest warriors, Miyamoto Musashi, and exploring his timeless guide to self-discipline, the Dakodo, or on a path of aloneness. Musashi was more than just an undefeated samurai. He was a master philosopher who, just before his death, distilled his life's wisdom into 21 powerful precepts. We're going to unpack principles 6 through 10, and trust me, these ancient rules are more relevant today than ever before. If you're ready to forge a stronger, more focused version of yourself, you're in the right place. Let's start with the 6th principle. Do not regret what you have done. This might sound simple, almost dismissive, but it's profoundly liberating. Think about it. How much energy do we waste agonizing over past decisions? A failed project, a clumsy conversation, a missed opportunity. Musashi understood that regret is a trap. It keeps you anchored to a past you cannot change, draining the energy you need to build your future. He wasn't saying to be reckless or to ignore your mistakes. The key is to learn, not to linger. When you make a mistake, you analyze it. What went wrong? What can you do differently next time? You extract the lesson, integrate it into your strategy for the future, and then you move on. The action is done, the event is over. Dwelling on it is like trying to fight a ghost. It's a battle you can never win because your opponent isn't even there. Imagine a swordsman in a duel. If he gets a minor cut and spends the rest of the fight thinking, "Oh, I shouldn't have moved my foot that way," he's going to get struck again. His focus is split. Instead, a master swordsman acknowledges the hit, registers the information. My opponent is fast on that side, and immediately refocuses on the present moment, on the next move. Your life is that duel. Your past mistakes are those minor cuts. Acknowledge them, learn from them, and then return your full attention to the present, where your power truly lies. The past is a library, not a living room. Visit it for knowledge, but don't try to live there. Your power is in the now, and your potential is in the future. Flowing directly from this is Musashi's 7th principle. Never be jealous of others. In either good or evil, jealousy is one of the most corrosive emotions we can experience. It's a poison that you drink, hoping the other person will suffer. Musashi saw it as a fundamental weakness, a distraction that pulls you away from your own path. When you feel jealous of someone's success, what are you really doing? You're focusing on their journey, their accomplishments, their life. All that mental energy, all that focus, is being outsourced to someone else's story instead of being invested in writing your own. Musashi believed in the path of aloneness, not as loneliness, but as self-reliance. Your path is unique. Your challenges, your strengths, your destiny, they are yours alone. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 is a recipe for misery. Jealousy breeds a competitive, zero-sum mindset where someone else's win feels like your loss. This is destructive. It prevents you from building strong alliances and learning from those who are ahead of you. Instead of feeling jealous of a successful person, Musashi's philosophy would encourage you to study them. What did they do right? What sacrifices did they make? What can you learn from their journey to apply to your own? Transform that toxic envy into productive curiosity. Celebrate their success as proof that high achievement is possible, and then get back to work on your own path. True masters don't envy other masters, they respect the craft and focus on perfecting their own. Next, we arrive at the 8th principle, a truly stoic piece of advice. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. This is a tough one, because human connection is so vital. But Musashi wasn't an unfeeling robot. He understood the pain of loss, whether it's the end of a relationship, a friend moving away, or the death of a loved one. His point wasn't to suppress sadness, but to refuse to be controlled by it. For a warrior, Attachments could be a fatal liability. If your mind is consumed by grief over a fallen comrade, you lose the sharp focus needed to survive the next battle. In our modern lives, the principle is the same. Life is a constant stream of hellos and goodbyes. People and circumstances will come and go. Clinging desperately to what was will only cause you prolonged suffering. Musashi's wisdom here is about acceptance and impermanence. Everything in life is temporary. By accepting this fundamental truth, you can appreciate people and moments more fully while they are here, without being shattered when they are gone. It's about cultivating an inner resilience, a core of strength that doesn't depend on external people or circumstances for its stability. You can feel the sadness, honor the memory, but you do not allow that sadness to define your existence or derail your purpose. You carry the lessons and the love forward, but you keep walking your path. Your journey continues, and you must be present for it. Now for the ninth principle. Resentment and complaint are appropriate for neither oneself nor others. How much time do we spend complaining? About the weather, about our boss, about traffic, about politics. Musashi would see this as a complete and utter waste of vital energy. Complaining accomplishes nothing. It solves no problems. It's just verbalizing your powerlessness. When you complain, you are adopting the mindset of a victim. You're focusing on what's wrong and who's to blame, rather than on what you can do to change the situation. A warrior, a person of discipline, doesn't complain. If a situation is unacceptable, they have two choices: change it or accept it. There is no third option of sitting around and whining about it. This applies to resentment as well. Holding a grudge is like carrying a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who gets burned. Resentment chains you to the person or event you despise, allowing them to live rent-free in your head. It's another form of being trapped in the past. To a master of strategy like Musashi, this is tactical insanity. Why would you give your enemy control over your emotional state? Letting go of resentment isn't about forgiving for their sake. It's about freeing yourself. It's a declaration that you will no longer allow past injustices to drain your present energy. Instead of complaining or resenting, take action. If you can fix the problem, fix it. If you can't, then strategically accept it and redirect your focus to areas where you do have control. This is the path of power, not of protest. Finally, we reach the 10th principle, one that might seem counterintuitive for a fierce warrior. Do not be guided by the feeling of lust or love. Now, hold on. Musashi isn't saying you can't experience love or desire. He's warning against being guided by them. He's talking about letting fleeting, intense emotions dictate your life's major decisions. For a samurai, a momentary passion could lead to a broken alliance, a foolish duel, or a betrayal of one's lord. It represented a loss of control, allowing the whims of the heart to override the clarity of the mind. In our lives, this principle is just as critical. How many people make disastrous career changes, financial decisions, or personal commitments based on a temporary infatuation or a fleeting desire? Love and passion are wonderful parts of the human experience, but they are powerful, often irrational forces. Musashi's teaching is to have a higher purpose, a way that guides you. Your core principles, your long-term goals, your personal code, these should be your North Star. Your emotions, including love, should be integrated into that path, but they should not be the ones steering the ship. When you are guided by your principles, you can love deeply and passionately, but you won't sacrifice your integrity or your life's mission for it. You make decisions with a clear head, considering the long-term consequences, not just the short-term emotional high. This creates a stable foundation for your life, where your actions are deliberate and aligned with your ultimate purpose, rather than being a chaotic reaction to your ever-changing feelings. It's the difference between being the master of your emotions and being their slave. So there you have it. 5 powerful principles from the mind of Miyamoto Musashi. Don't regret the past. Don't be jealous. Don't be shattered by separation. Don't complain or resent. And don't let fleeting emotions rule your life. Each of these is a step on the path to true self-discipline and inner freedom. They challenge us to take radical ownership of our minds and our actions. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the Dokodo. If you found this wisdom as powerful as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that helps you build a stronger life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these principles resonates with you the most? Stay focused, keep walking your path, and I'll see you in the next video.